What's going on, everybody? It's Triple Crown 24 back today doing a national recap video. Now, I did a video for day one and was going to do a video for day two, but I was running around so much and I was so tired every day, but having a great time that I really just didn't get a chance to make a video. And I found myself looking for opportunities to record footage of the show or do little segments with people. There's a lot of that out there. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of that. I'm deciding that the few clips I did get, they're kind of forced. And I'm not going to include them in this video just because I want to talk and I want to show off my cards that I got. Because I feel like that's just more so my style. And there's plenty of videos out there. I know that this might not be for everyone. That's perfectly fine. There is a lot of great video production out there, and there's plenty of ways to go look and see what kind of cards were in the showcases. But I just want to share my personal experience, kind of tell the story of the National for how it went down for me. So I got there on Tuesday, and I'll recap this first part because it's pretty much on video already with my day one recap. I'm staying with my roommates, Mike from Baseball Collector, Andy, she blinded me with refractors, and we get to the hotel room. We're later joined in the evening by Mike from Canadian Cards, and this is the fearsome four that took over Chicago. No, just kidding. We were roommates, and I appreciate my roommates because they made the experience so much fun. I can't tell you how many laughs we had, and we got to go back. We got to talk about what we got and show each other our cards and just cracking jokes, and it's just so much fun. And last time I went in 19, I'll make a lot of comparisons in this video to the two nationals I've gone to now. It was a lot different having like a roommate, because when I would go back, I kind of felt like I was a little bit more isolated, and this time I felt so much more immersed in it. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the 19 national, but in some ways I love this one even more. It's hard because it was kind of like two separate experiences and comparing apples and oranges in a sense. So I'm going to try not to do it too much, but I know inevitably I will. Going through the show on Tuesday is the setup day with the dealer pass. I did not buy anything. I was just kind of getting my bearings. I tried to make some moves early on, and not a lot of guys willing to budge. It's understandable. They're just setting up or have just set up and aren't really willing to wheel and deal as much as they might be towards late Saturday or Sunday even, because, well, it's just a lot of opportunities to sell still ahead at their full asking price. So we come into Wednesday, and I make my pickups, and I'm going to show them off here. I've shown all these already, but I want to include them again because it's definitely part of my experience. I think Wednesday was probably my strongest day for pickups. So first up is the 55 Topps Hank Aaron, PSA 1. Just a beautiful card. It presents itself so well, and you can see why it's a 1. I don't need to reiterate it again. When I hold it like this, you know why. When I hold it like this, if you didn't see what I just showed you before, you wouldn't really know why. And that's what I'm looking for with these types of cards. I'm not the guy who can go out and afford the PSA 8s and 9s as much as I would love to. So I work with what I can get, and that's what I got, so I was happy with it. For you vintage fans out there, I did manage to get this 66 Venezuela Topps Carl Yastrzemski, PSA 4, one of the nicest, in fact, the nicest Venezuela card I've ever owned / seen in person. Just beautiful card. And of course, the big pickup of the day was the Trout plate from 2012 that I did the trade for. I can't remember if I told about the specifics of the trade in the last video, but if you want to reference that and get a more detailed breakdown, that is in that video. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to recap the first couple of days because I've already done a video on those, and I know a lot of you guys who watched that one will probably be back for this one too. So just filling in the gaps for anyone just joining us along this journey. This will be a long video, by the way. I don't know if I said that or not, but that's because I want to talk a lot. So moving into, geez, I have stuff everywhere here, don't I? Moving into the next day of the show. I got up, and I gotta say, Thursday, if you were to classify a worst day, Thursday was that day for me in terms of just what I was able to do in terms of buying at the show. I made 2 purchases very early on in the morning, and I had skipped getting in line for the Topps Q&A because I wanted to go dig through dollar boxes and dig through various other things, and it worked. I made a few nice pickups early on. I'm trying to find them here, so apologies for my lack of preparedness, of course. I had to move a big stack behind me here because of the PSA video that I did yesterday, so getting my bearings straight still. This was one of the cards. It's a 16 Optic Aaron Rodgers. And this was $10. It was a no-brainer to me, first year of Optic, to get the holo. Is as much as Aaron Rodgers is, he's not exactly my favorite quarterback as a Lions fan. I can respect talent when I see it, so I had to go ahead and grab that one for that kind of price. Going along, I don't really find too much else to pick up. I picked up a Miggy Relic, of course, a lower end one for the PC. Stamp of approval from Topps Tribute. It's got the little code on it, which is nice, so you can look up what game it's from. I have not done that yet, but that's from last year's Topps Tribute. And then after that, it was slim pickings, I can say. I didn't really get too much stuff. A lot of no's, a lot of dealers who were aggressive, if I had to choose a word, with I guess getting maybe like offended or laughing at offers. I don't know. That's not something I would do, and I've been across the other side of the table plenty of times at this point to know that it's usually not the best way to approach those situations, but to each their own. Hopefully those dealers got what they needed to get out of the show. I know there was a lot of money changing hands, so apparently they did. But I got a few little hidden treasures there, like this one here, 2007 Bowman Chrome Miggy Blue, number to 150. So it was cool taking through the dollar boxes. Again, going to do a comparison to the previous National. I had under 1,000 Miggy cards. In fact, reached 1,000 at the show 2 years ago in Chicago. And now being over 3 times that, it definitely made it a lot more challenging. Like, there was cards I saw there that I was kind of thinking back, 2 years ago, I would have picked this up because I didn't have it yet. In 2021, a little bit of a different story. But I found some cool ones, some stuff that it benefited me to pick it up at the show, like that relic, because I didn't really want to have to pay shipping for it later on eBay, much less try to find one that's reasonable. Out of 300 here, the Sky Blue from 2021 Finest, so that was cool. And with the YouTuber meetup and that kind of stuff going on, I did get some custom cards to add to my collection. The other ones are already in the binder. I got to put these ones in there too. This is from Dustin and Blake, who I met at the YouTuber meetup, and then Jeremy's from Jeremy IP TTM's son, his Little League card there. So I think he had 2 different ones. I picked the 18 design because I'm a fan of the 18 design, so it was cool of Dustin and Jeremy to pass along those customs. Going to the YouTube PC. Here's another cool custom here. This was also given to me by Scott at Reindeer Studios. And how cool is this? Look at this. Scott's custom card here. This is awesome. Of course, T206 style. And it has the tobacco insert too. So I don't even need to get some more of these for the binder. This will fit in perfectly, so you can see there with Reindeer Studios. It says hack artist. That could not be more of a lie. If you have not seen Scott's channel and seen some of the work he's done, he is a tremendous artist. And I wish I had a chance to talk to him more. I just kind of grabbed his custom card, got to shake his hand, and I was off to trade night that night. But thanks so much, Scott. Speaking of trade night, so I went to the main trade night that's hosted by Ryan Card Collector 2, who I was able to chat with a little bit on Tuesday. I know he's a busy man, let me tell you. Ryan seemed to be everywhere and involved with a lot of things, and that was really cool to see, just because I pride myself on, I've followed Ryan's channel for many years now, and it seems like he gets, a lot of people know who he is, and I can't say enough good things about him. Just one of the really good people in the hobby. So, to see all the attention and his trade night got, and the turnout too. This thing packed an entire hotel ballroom. I remember he was telling the story at the start of it, where he was saying that the first time they did it was like 25 people in a room, and now this thing was, it sparked multiple trade nights, and I'll talk about that here in a moment. But to give you an idea, I went to the Blake Jameson trade night actually a few hours later. It was at the same hotel in the upstairs level, near where we had the YouTube hangout at the previous National in Chicago. And when I came back to that hotel, and when I was leaving, there were still people there from when the show, the trade night thing had started, or Ryan's thing, 6 hours earlier, just like trading on the floor of the hotel room, like people with their cards laid out like this across the table, and they were still trading. And I had never seen anything like it. It was so cool to see it. I'll talk more about that here in a moment. The next night was pretty much the same thing at the Lowe's Hotel when we did that YouTuber get together. And that wasn't even like an organized trade night. That was just something like a bunch of people gathered in the lobby, and that thing was insane. So, I went to Ryan's trade night. I didn't make any trades there. I kind of just hung out with a lot of the YouTube guys. It was difficult to move around in there, and I'm a bit of an introvert, and striking up conversations is something that I struggle with strangers. If it's someone who I at least kind of know, it's a little easier for me, but it's a cold approach. It's just not my forte. I'm very socially awkward, a bit of an introvert, and kind of shy too. So mostly just letting people come to me is what my strategy was. Although I tried to step out of my shell a little bit more on Friday, and I was proud of myself for doing that. Just going around it and talking to people at the impromptu trade night at Lowe's. But so it was awesome though to see that. I know Ryan has put a lot of time into that, along with Kentucky Roadshow, and to see how much it's grown is tremendous. So congratulations to him on that, because it's well deserved, and it's really cool to see everything that it's inspired to. Because I would pretty much tell you that every hotel around the block of the convention center, there was some kind of trade night going on of some sort pretty much every night. So but I went to the Blake Jameson trade night after the YouTuber meetup, so we got to say hi to some old friends and some new ones at the YouTuber meetup, meet some guys in person for the first time. I'm not going to name names, because what will happen is I will forget someone, and I don't want anyone's feelings to be hurt. So I have very fond memories though of getting to meet people for the first time, and those those are the kind of things that stay with me. Not so much like all the cool stuff that I saw at the show and the showcases, but the people. And I don't think that that's anything that would surprise anyone. It's what we always say in the lead up to the national. It's all about the people. Well, there's a reason we say that. It's because it's true. But I went to Blake's trade night, and we got this really cool gift bag, actually. So I have a few cards in this gift bag that I will show off. There was a few artists there, so of course Blake was there, and I ran into Blake earlier in the day at the show, on the show floor. He was doing a little promo for Whatnot, which was this app there that was doing a promotion. I think he was participating in an auction, and I actually got like a goodie bag of Project 2020 cards. So there were a few of Blake's cards and then a few random ones in there. Like there was a Sif Jeter in there. It's really cool. There was even I got a Project 70 card. I went with Eric, those back pages. His bag didn't get a Project 70 card, so take that, Eric. I'm just kidding on that one. But I appreciate Eric for inviting me alongside, because I wouldn't have really known about the Blake trade night, like the specific details on it. I had a few of them written down in like my notebook prior to heading over to Chicago for the week, but if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have known where to go and to get in and get to talk with people. And the really cool thing is that in addition to Blake, Blake's team was there too. So Matt, if Matt's watching this by any chance, big shout out to him. He's got to be one of the nicest human beings you could ever meet. Like, I don't think that this guy, I've never seen Matt not with a smile on his face. Like, he is one of the nicest, most approachable people you could ever meet. And I know Eric was excited to see him because we saw him earlier in the day. And Blake's the same way. He's a great dude, always a smile on his face, nice handshake and a smile every time he sees you and strike up a conversation. It was fantastic. So Matt, he had gifted me a card here, which was way above and beyond. He gave me one earlier in the day of the regular base version of this, but he gave me this Casey Mize, and it's the artist autograph version. So Blake signed it down there in red, which is super sweet, and it's got the COA to go with it on the back with the newer Blake logo there. So this is cool. This will go up on the Tigers display. And as I've probably alluded to it a few times and haven't gotten to my actual point yet with it, I did get to meet a few of the artists that were there. So Lauren Taylor was there. She does fantastic work. She was not in Project 2020, but she's doing Project 70, and her artwork, it's kind of the style of artwork that I would do if I were doing more Project 70. You guys have seen some of my Project 2020 customs. But her art style, I like the pop art style that Blake does. That's up my alley. That suits my taste. But like the intricate detail that Lauren puts into her work is fantastic. So it was cool to see her there. Naturel was there. He was in Project 2020 as well. I didn't get a chance to talk with him, but I did get to meet, and I got this pickup from him thanks to Eric, who gifted this to me. And it was signed by F. who is certainly one of my favorite artists from the original Project 2020 crew. There's so many little intricacies in his cards. I really enjoyed a lot of them, seeing them come out. So he did a Stadium Series release, and one of the ones he did was Tiger Stadium. And let me say this right now, no shots here at Topps, but I don't know if they hate the Tigers or something, but it feels like the Tigers never get any of the online exclusives. So we've had two cards actually now in Project 70 that I can think of. There was a K-Line, and then there was an Akil Badu, which is pretty sweet, by the way. Shout out to Tyson Peck. But F. you can see here, he signed it, and there's so many details in here. My fellow Tigers fans watching the channel will know, like, they have the retired numbers on the outside there, along with Ty Cobb's name. You can see the Michigan and Trumbull there on the background. The Bless You Boys written in the back with the Detroit road jersey font as well. Tiger Stadium, of course, written there with the old school Tiger logo, just in the new one as well. Just super classic. So much attention to detail on this. I absolutely love this card. So this one will have to go on display, and he inscribed it with "Bless You Boys" on the back. And as if the card wasn't sweet enough, he put the half top, put the inscription, and probably the best spot. Like, I was wondering if he was going to go down here, but look at that. That just fits perfectly in that spot, and it's clean font. It pops. I love it. I absolutely love this card. This is one of my favorite pickups of the show. Again, thank you to Eric for gifting that to me. And generosity at this show was insane. Like I said on Tuesday, I didn't really do too much buying, and I was getting frustrated because I couldn't find any Cabrera stuff. He was eventually I kind of caved in. I went back to a table that I saw on Tuesday when people were first setting up. They had 3 autographs that I did not have, and I went back for them, kind of caving in, like, okay, I'll pay this price. It's a reasonable price. They were all gone, and that's, the tip videos, there's a reason that people reiterate these same points we always hear, is that sometimes if you see it, you have to buy it, and that's because those cards did not last. So I ran into that same problem there, unfortunately, but I was able to find some stuff the next day that certainly made up for it. But if I had not have done that, I actually think I got more Miggy cards as gifts. Excuse me, my voice is kind of shot from having to speak up loud from the show for a few days because it's really loud in the convention center. But a lot of gifts from people. So I'm going to go through those, and I tried to keep these in the same order here as best as I could, but since I've come home and everything, it's tough to sometimes keep them in the same order. So if I credit the wrong person on these, I greatly apologize. That is definitely not my intention, but I digress. So first up, Ron Fig gifted me 3 cards. So big shout out to Ron. Thank you so much. These are not easy. You have a Chrome Heritage here, number 999, as well as the tin exclusive 70 years of Topps insert. And with the lack of retail availability, easy for me to say, this one on the right here is extremely tough to get. I haven't been able to even access the Topps tins at all through Meijer or Walmart because they just haven't had any cards. So then the Heritage Chromes, these have been going for more than what I'm usually used to paying, and I'm been really stubborn with it where, no, I'm not paying that because I've never had to pay that in years past. Not accepting that just might be the way things are nowadays. So I appreciate Ron gifting those to me. Those were ones that I did not have in the collection. He gifted me one more as well. It's in this stack. I'm going to try to dig it out here as I stall for time. Here it is right here. This one is tough to get as well for different reasons. This is one of the giveaways from the Golden Giveaway back in 2012. I've shown off a few different cards that were redemption cards, actually, from the Golden Giveaway. This is the one the big one that I was missing in terms of the ones that aren't one of the ones that you can actually find. And it's the die cut from the Golden Giveaway. So these were redemption only. I had to get them from Topps, redeeming the code cards they used to do. So the fact that Ron had this one and then just gifted it to me was very generous. So thank you again, Ron, for you hit the Miggy PC on 3 different cards. And then along the same lines of generosity, by the way, in that stack I did pull out my Wade Boggs Fan Custom, adding that to the binder here soon. Ryan Hot Corner Collection. I believe it was the first time that we had met in person. I've seen Ryan around before. Ryan's been around for a while. But the first time that, we shook hands and everything. Sorry, just checking my email real quick. I am really thankful that he thought of me because he sent me a slider box, probably a slider box like this big, not one of these little ones, like this big, that had all Miggy cards in it. And he said, like, I hope that there's at least one in there that you didn't have. He also gave me this box topper that is with my notebook in my book bag right now. I'm not going to run and grab it at the moment. But it's the Glassworks from Gypsy Queen, but he had 3 of them in there that I did not have. He had the 2021 52 style, the base from Diamond Kings, and this beautiful Topps Chrome refractor, Allen & Ginter Chrome, refractor, which not the easiest to come by compared to refractors from like a Finest or Topps Chrome. So the fact that that was in there got me very excited. I did not have one of these. I was really looking forward to getting one of them too. So Ryan, you're the man. What else can I say? So that was a couple of the gifts, and already very generous. Okay, and it doesn't stop there. There's even more, and it's just I don't know what to say. I was just so blown away. So I got some gifts from Josh, Rural Rated Rookie, who I hung out with for quite some time. He was there on Tuesday, so Josh was there pretty much the whole time that I was there. So he gifted me these 4 cards for the Miggy PC. This first one here I do not have. It's the Chrome from Topps Heritage. I have the refractor, but I don't have the Chrome. So that will go into the Z Folio here once I get it cataloged. This one I also did not have, and take a look at this. Beautiful number to 50 Miggy from 2014 Bowman Chrome, the mini gold wave there. So just, again, same thing, incredibly generous. And that's not it. Jeremy IPTTM, a little 2-for-1 special here actually, because Jeremy gifted me these from our friend Nick over at Dead Centered. I think I showed these off in the part 1 video, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I'm going to show them again here. So you see a couple of Lions cards here, including a few nice DeAndre Swifts, and then some Miggies in here. The 2020 update, Decades Best here. See, and then the Royal Blue All-Star Game card from Update as well. Exclusive. I believe they're supposed to be exclusive to Meyer, although I know that Target somehow ended up with some of them at some point instead of the Reds. I don't know how that worked out. So that was from Nick, who unfortunately couldn't make it, but I appreciate the thought, sir, and the fact that you hooked me up with those. Went through all the effort, sending them to Jeremy, and then Jeremy had to bring them to me too. That's it just goes to show it's nice to have people looking out for you, and I have more to say about that here in a moment. These are from Jeremy, 2021 Bowman Purple. Don't have this one yet. Number 250. This is the tattoos from the Triple Play product. Forget which year. 13 Triple Play. Then really awesome mini framed relic here from Gypsy Queen. Did not have that relic. Just one of those that's kind of evaded me. And I was talking with Joey about this on I think it was Thursday night at the YouTuber meetup over at the embassy. That he was kind of saying like it's hard to find stuff that he doesn't have, and it is true. I had a much harder time finding stuff that I didn't have compared to the last show, but this one, there's still like common stuff out there that I overlook, or I feel like I can get it at a different time. So it's I'm all over the place. I've definitely been going after some higher end stuff lately. Here's one more from Jeremy here, the High Def Bowman, little tribute there to 55 design. And among all the cards that Jeremy donated to the Miggy collection, this one probably blew my mind the most because it's a 2011 Topps Chrome Black Refractor. These are just so tough to find. This card's 10 years old now, and really a lot of these are just hidden away in boxes in someone's closet in all reality, or still sealed away in the wax that does exist out there of 2011 Topps Chrome. And with how crazy wax prices are, I just don't know who is really opening any of the older stuff anymore, because it used to be very affordable to go back and kind of revisit some of the older sets and open them up, but not so much these days, because there's usually some kind of rookie of significance in those products that drives up the box prices, where you pretty much got to hit like a one-of-one auto to justify it. The boxes themselves have kind of become the collectibles rather than the cards that are in them, which is an interesting shift, just to see happen over time. So, and that's not it for the gifts. There's even more, which is as if there wasn't enough already. I got this really nice stack here from Brad. We're at Brad8671, who I've known for some time. He's an OG here on YouTube. Very nice guy. Glad to have met him in person now, and just kind of shoot the bull for a little while. So he hooked me up here. A couple of Tigers autographs. I don't have Cody Clemens in the Tigers autograph collection yet because he hasn't debuted, but he is in AAA, and I would probably guess that he'll be a September call-up this year. I don't imagine the Mudhens will make the playoffs. It used to be the International League playoffs, but I know they restructured things, so I don't know. But I bet you he'll get called up, and then at that point, once he plays a game, then this card will be moving in there. This one on the left is going in there now. Our all-star representative from this year, Gregory Soto, first Bowman Chrome, and didn't have Soto in the collection, so to get that from Brad was awesome. And then, of course, he hooked me up with some Miggies, and these are not easy ones to find again. Nice etching on the 14 Prism, orange die cut, number to 60. Also, Classics 14, Stars of Summer Relic, number to 99. And this one, I got told the story behind it too, which kind of adds to it. Just knowing, knowing a little bit more about its origin story, if you will, or whatever you want to call it, would be this one right here. Because Brad told me that he got this on a steal on eBay, which says to me that he was thinking of me, preparing to give this to me. And it's a Tier 1. I think they call it like prodigious patches. Let me see the back. Yep, I got that. I'm surprised that I knew the name of that because I don't usually win these. I've lost a lot of these at auction. They just have gone for more than I wanted. I've seen some of the ones from 2021 even go for over $100, which just for a patch card is I just can't go that high because I'm used to getting autographs for that price. But Brad told me what he got this for, which was a steal. I was very surprised that he was managed to track this one down. It's numbered to 10, and these are tough pulls. I don't even think that these fall one per case. I thought they were case hits, but I gotta say I've seen a lot of Tier 1s where they didn't even have one of those in there. So the fact that he would buy this and then bring it to me at the National is just so it's generous. And I mean, I've spent the last 10 minutes talking about generosity, and I could talk about so many more examples of generosity that I saw take place that I wasn't involved with. And I just it was great to see. It's what the hobby is about, and you remember certain things about the National, the atmosphere, all the really cool items that you only see once a year at the show. But it's these types of interactions and these moments and memories that are created when you get something like this from someone, or you strike up a conversation with someone, that's what sticks with you. And I have that to talk about in some of the last few pickups that I do have here. I'm just trying to make sure that I showed off all the gifts again. I'm really, 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 really sorry if I happen to miss any of those, because I really want to make sure that I show all those off on camera. That's why I waited for today to do all of them at once. In fact, as I'm looking through my stuff, I found one here that I was going to save, but I want to do it now. This was from Christian over at Striker Cards. Chronicles patch number 10. Look at this patch. Absolutely crazy patch, and you just gave this to me. I've known Christian for a while now from the Tigers Collectors group over on Facebook. He's a tremendous guy, so to be able to shake his hand, meet him in person, walk around the show floor is cool. I feel like a lot of people on YouTube that you kind of know them just from their channel. A lot of people are the same as they are in person for the most part, and but to shake their hand and kind of see them in the flesh is kind of it's a different feeling for sure, and it's one of the really cool things. So again, Christian, thank you. Well, once again, I'm continuing my thought from earlier. If I did forget to put something out that was gifted to me, I am incredibly sorry. It's definitely not intentional. I'm just kind of going through my stack here, and it's not the most organized. So if I come across something here, I'll be sure to interrupt myself. I'm going to move over to Trade Night Part 2 Electric Boogaloo for a moment, because I made some deals there, some of which I got the cards, brought them back to the YouTubers, and sold them to YouTubers right there on the spot. But a few of the ones I held on to, this was a combined $40 for these two cards. I really like these two cards. That's why I picked them up from a guy who I know here locally. So shout out to Kyle. If he's watching this, I know he watches some of the videos. But I met him. I ran into him. I didn't meet him. I ran into him at a trade night. He said that he saw the Miggy jersey or the Miggy. I think I had my Miggy T-shirt on, and he recognized me, which is cool. I do like to wear something Miggy related, either my T-shirt if it's really hot out. If it's cooler out, then I'm gonna go with like a hoodie or the black Players Weekend jersey, just because it's kind of like a uniform. People are more recognizable, I guess, in that sense. So if I see someone I know, or they see me and they know me, they can come up to me, and if I know them, so makes it easier that way to identify me, I guess, for people who had met before. So it was cool to see him there. I ran into actually a few guys I know from shows down here in the Cincinnati area, which is really cool to see them there. It was kind of surreal to see them like out of the element of you're used to seeing someone in one place all the time, and then you catch them at the big show. So that was really cool to see them. So the two cards I got from him is Trout 14 blue. Anything that's like 15 and older Trout, if it's numbered, I like to try to pick it up if it's at a price that works for me, and this one certainly was. Then you have this one here, the Acuna. I don't know if these are case hits. Someone can clarify down in the comments down below. This is a gold minted from Stadium Club. I know Kyle's a big Braves fan, so I appreciate him being willing to part with this one for me. But I just thought this one looked really cool with the gold there from Stadium Club. So those were from Trade Night. And then I also, shout out to Miko, because, of course, I'm just showing off some Ginter autographs. One of the coolest moments of this show was from a guy, he's on Instagram as, I think it's 937 Sports Cards, which 937 is the area code for Dayton, Ohio. It's, if you're not from the Midwest, it's a fairly significant sized city. You've probably heard of, like, University of Dayton or the Dayton Flyers. He told me he lives in the town that I used to live in, which, kind of a small world thing there. So to run into him, in Chicago, hundreds of miles away, was pretty cool to find someone who's also pretty much a local guy too. One of the coolest moments. So I was looking through his stuff and I found these Ginter autographs here. So I picked up a lot of them. There's also a Jim Rice here, but Canadian Cards snagged that off me when I came back to the hotel room that night. So you see all these Ginters here. He was working out a deal with someone, and I asked him, mind if I look through your stuff while you work on this? So sure. Well, this guy, the guy who had these cards, had on an Obi Toppin t-shirt on. It kind of looked like a Kaboom without like the big flashy stuff on it. So I'm seeing him with this t-shirt, and he's looking at this card with eager eyes, I'll say. And it's I don't know what it's technically called. It's like a Contenders Draft or Contenders Draft Optic. I don't know. But it was an Obi Toppin Dayton Flyers card, and it was a gold vinyl, or if you're a Topps guy, a super refractor. And the guy who had it sold it to him for I really don't know the market on a card like that. It's a 1 of 1, or at least I thought it was a 1 of 1. It probably is, But they like had me like take a selfie with both of them, like, or well, it wasn't a selfie, I guess, because I took the picture. But they're like posing with the card, and he's got it on next to his Obi Toppin shirt, and so he buys the 101 Obi Toppin autograph from Contenders Optic. It just a really cool moment. Like, that's if someone like if I had a Miggy like 101 that someone approached me with like that, I would take a picture of him too, probably, or get that on video. So I thought that was super cool uh, to see that. So after that part of it, we worked out a deal for the stack of Ginchers, and I got them for a price that I was really happy with. A lot of these tend to dry up. This product was just released, so I'm going to hold on to these for just a moment. And then kind of when there's lesser quantity available out there, I'll probably drop them out there and see the madness that ensues, if you will. Also, this one is probably going to be a head scratcher for some on why would you pick that up, but I'll explain. One of the cards I bought was this Dwayne Haskins Red Ice Prism from 19 Prism. He hasn't had the greatest start to his NFL career, I'll say that. He is out of Ohio State, so I do have that connection to him. It's one of the things that drew me to him. This was, I forget the price for it, but when you factor in the cost of shipping to PSA, well, the grading fees alone in normal times, considering it's $25 for Ultra Modern, plus in the shipping to PSA alone was worth more than the cost. So when you get something like that, you just got to go for it. And I know that he'll be backing up Big Ben in Pittsburgh, who has had one or two injury issues in his career. Not saying that, just in case, the football market is crazy. It's a week to week type of thing. So if not, I just kind of have this Ohio State colors Dwayne Haskins rookie, because he was probably one of the better quarterbacks that was there during my time as a Buckeye. I had many years there at Ohio State in various roles, so it's cool to just get that one just because, and if something happens with them, then something happens with them. So I think that's all I really got from the trade night. I made some sales to some guys with some cards that I had brought with me. There was a lot of wheeling and dealing going on, not just from me, but a lot of people were trading cards. I actually, when I left the show on Saturday morning, had more cash on me than when I had left home on Tuesday morning, just from selling and trading for a lot of the stuff that I had. I never had to go to the ATM once. Most of them were out of order. I think that these ATMs were not prepared for the tsunami of people that were coming in ready to buy some cards. And cash was certainly king at these events, so I was just, it was very bewildering because that was definitely not the case. There wasn't nearly as much trading and buying from what I remember at the show 2 years ago. So just, I guess, more of a speaks to the changes that have happened in the hobby in just the span of 2 years. So let's go back to the show for a minute. Some of the pickups from days 2 and 3 that you guys haven't got to see yet on video. Possibly some day 1 ones that I forgot about that I'm going to be either saying again or showing off for the first time here. Here's a Bo Bichette rookie here. If you're playing things YouTubers say bingo, get your daubers ready, because I did not pay a sticker price for any of these cards. That's a thing that people usually say when they go to these shows. This is the Bo Bichette Maple Leaf Red. I wanted this in 9. The dealer had 2 10s, and I didn't want to pay the 10 tax, so I ended up buying the card raw, which I asked him if he had any more, and sometimes it just benefits to ask that question. The worst they can say is no. So I, of course, pillaged the dollar boxes, my favorite activity. There's nothing like grabbing a chair after standing on your feet all day, just going to town on a dollar box. This was one of my 2 really great finds. Also got a Kyler Murray rookie year card, numbered to 199. This is probably one of the big 2, along with this one, the first Gypsy Queen card of Mike Trout. So that one was salvaged out of the dollar box. Then we move into some of the big boys. In fact, I'm going to reshuffle my stuff here to make sure that I get all of these in the video because I don't want to forget them. Just double checking here that I have all of these ready to show off. I have some other lower end Miggies that maybe I'll show off in a different video. This one's already running long. I warned you it would be long, so yeah, kept my word on that one. Yeah, so these were the big three that I have not shown off yet for Miggy pickups. First one up here, this is a Bowman Originals auto, numbered to 154. This is one of the most counterfeited autograph sets of all time in any sport. The fact that this one was out of the original little snap tight case that it was in was a little concerning, so I had to look at it. I was also a little streaky here, so I was concerned that maybe someone tried to auto pen this, but knowing Miggy's signature pretty well and just looking for certain things like pen impressions and things that are more human about a signature rather than machine-like, I can say that this one is good to go. If I'm really feeling uneasy about it at some point, I'll send it to Garrett, the card cutter, for slabbing, but for now I'm good with it. This next one has a great story to it as well. This is a triple auto. I do have one of these. I just don't have the green one. I think I have the base or the one that's numbered to 27. So this was the green, and the story goes, so I walk up to the table and I see this one along with a high-tech autograph, and the high-tech autograph was one that I had been gifted previously by Dave, Blue Jacket 66. So at the time I wasn't really interested, so I asked to just look at this card. And about 10 seconds later, this dealer, who is at the end of a row, so he's kind of got like a corner table where he's got stuff on both, one side of the table, then you go around the corner really quick and he's also there too. So this guy's on the adjacent side of the table, and he asks, hey, do you have any Mickey stuff? So he's wearing his Tigers hat. I think he has a Tigers jersey on as well, or some kind of Tigers shirt. And the guy chuckles. He says, yeah, that guy over there has some. He points at me, and this guy walks over and he goes, oh crap, he already beat me to it. So we strike up a conversation about Miggy, and I tell him, I already have one of the parallels of this. This is just to go towards the potential rainbow. If you really want to get this one, man, you have first right of refusal. I don't want to get in your way on it. I've gotten a few Miggy autos already to this point. And he said, no, man, you found it. It's yours. So I told him, I do already have this high-tech auto, though. So I showed him that, and I told him, I think that this is a good price. And he ended up getting his, his Miggy auto he was after, too, in the form of the high-tech. So that was really cool. And we stayed around and chatted about the Tigers. There were a lot of Tigers fans there, which was good to see. Back in 2019, we sucked. That was when we went 47 and 114. And I know at that point in the season, we were probably on track for disaster by that point in the season, back in 19, if I remember correctly. So with all the excitement around the team right now, to be able to see that many Tigers fans there was certainly refreshing. But yeah, that was a cool little experience meeting up with a fellow Miggy guy at the show. So I had a few other cards that I had bought at the show, but I'm going to wrap up the video on this card. This was my crown jewel pickup of the show from my collection. And I have to give a very special shout out to Jason at Max Power Baseball, who DM'd me on Instagram during this show on Thursday. And he had told me that this was in a booth, and he told me what the price was, and he gave me the booth number, which is the perfect amount of information that I need to know to be able to locate it. He tells me right where it's at, and he already has the price, that the guy's asking for it for me, so that I know kind of what I'm expecting going into it. And that was really awesome. So I appreciate him for the assist. He definitely gets credit. The funny thing is, I was kind of bewildered, so I go over to this booth, and I'm walking with our friend Eric, those back pages. and looking for the card, and I walk up to the booth looking at the number, and I see it's a booth that I was at yesterday, going through the value boxes and looking at some of the other stuff in their showcase. Sure enough, there's the card, and there's actually a few Miggy autos in their box that they had too. That I guess it was new stuff they had just picked up, because that was not there yesterday. So talked to this guy for a little bit, was able to knock him down a little bit on the price, and ended up with a card that as soon as Jason had texted it to me, I knew it was going to be mine. 2014 Topps Dynasty, number to 10 autograph. The Dynasty patches on the ones number to 10 are not supposed to be this nice. I have one that's out of 5 that doesn't have a patch this nice. Usually they're like 1 to 2 color swatches. You might get some little bit of a chunk in there, but this one's 4 color with some loops. It's phenomenal, and the silver signature just absolutely pops. This was the very first very first Dynasty release, and I've been after one of these since Dynasty came out. Back then, I was a teenager when these came out, and this Dynasty was kind of like one of those untouchable products for me, where I could never even imagine affording to be able to rip it and open it, much less than even buy the singles, even though that they're cheaper than the boxes. Like, to buy the signals and the group breaks, yeah, I could have got the Tigers, and it wasn't like it was impossible to get Miggy in one of the cases, but it's improbable. And with the money that you have to spend, you got to spend like probably at least $50 to try for a 5-box case. It's just not worth it. So for many years, I let these go by. They dried up, can't find them anymore. They've surfaced very, very rarely. There was a one-of-one that popped up. I think actually our friend Caitlin, A League of Our Own, was the one who won it. Missed out on that one. That was a few years ago. So when this one surfaced, it was one of those that I saw it and knew that I was going to own it. So that was, this card is very symbolic to me for reasons that I'm not going to get into. But this will be my defining card, I think, from the National. I love the Trout plate, of course. This is one of those cards. I don't plan on it going anywhere anytime soon unless I get a Godfather offer on it. It's going to be with me for a while. In fact, I'm going to get a one-touch for it this week. But this card right here just means a lot to me. And like I said, I won't get into it on video, but there are some people out there who know why this means so much to me, and I'm sure they're nodding along with me as I say this right now. And I thank them for their support of me. One quick thing I want to say is my channel is not this huge one like some of the newer guys that you see out there who have like 5-figure sub counts with the really expensive collections in the Pelican cases. Like, I don't have like the clout of those guys. This is a relatively small channel in the grand scheme of things. That's largely dedicated to me talking a little bit about dealer stuff, doing PSA reveals for people, and showing off my Miggy collection, which is kind of a niche collection. So I don't really get like, oh, I watch your videos a lot and I love your content. And I got that a few times this weekend, and it meant a lot to me. So, anyone who came up to me and, the compliments, I really do appreciate that. There have been times that I've doubted myself of making videos. Does anybody care? Does anybody want to see what I have? And it's those types of people who take interest in the people who kind of oohed and awed over this card when I got to show it off on Thursday night. You might not have known it at the time, but that really meant a lot to me for those people who took an interest in my interest. That's just, it feels good. It really does. But there's one comment that was made to me that really is stuck with me, and I've thought about it so much since it was said to me. It was on Thursday. I'm not sure if this person wants me to say this uh, right now on video, but I'm gonna say their name, and I assume that it's okay because it wasn't anything bad. it was uh, it was really heartwarming, and it made me think, which I like it when people make me think, because it really, um, it gets me. I'm at a loss for words. I'm sorry, but it was this baseball card life who said this to me. So he came over to me. It was towards the end of the night that I was there, at least for the YouTuber meetup that was at the embassy. So the one that was on Thursday nights. And we had met and talked for quite a bit, actually, at the previous time that we had done this back in 2019, when it was at the embassy or whatever it's called. We had talked for a while, and Mike, it was before I had gone to becoming a dealer full time. But he said to me, and this is an exact quote, I'm probably pretty close on it. JT, it's great to see you. And he was like, wow, you're so big time now with all these shows that you're setting up at and all these Mickey cards that you're picking up, man. It's great, congratulations. It's well deserved. Along those lines, I really wish I remember the exact thing he said. I kind of I've thought about it so much that it's kind of blurred in my head, if that makes sense. But that was really touching to me. I was having kind of a day where I was doubting myself just because of my inability to make deals that day. And I've had some criticism lately on the channel about maybe the way that I do things, or just towards my knowledge of the hobby, if you will. And sometimes that stuff, it piles up and it might get in your head. And just that brief conversation I had with Mike, and that encouragement he gave me, was so symbolic of the entire weekend, of all the great people who I met for the first time and reacquainted with at this show. How supportive they are, and how nice and friendly, and how much of a community it really is. And I go to a lot of shows. I know this is a big one. There were a lot of cards there. There was a lot of cool things. But you just can't get that anywhere else. And if anybody ever tells you it's not worth it to go to the National, I would really like to see that same person say that after experiencing something like I did this weekend, because it was extremely touching, and I will cherish that forever. Holding up this card here is kind of a symbol of the entire weekend, the friendships, the journey that I've come along, and even some deeper meanings that some people will know, and they know who they are. But yeah, I thank you to everyone who I met this weekend and talked to, and thank you so much for a great National. Really hope to see you in AC. Let's aim for AC 2022. And if you're going to the show on Sunday, when I'm releasing this, I hope that last day of the show was good for you. It ended on a high note. And I just can't wait to do it again.